Hello and welcome to English 101 at Cincinnati State. My name is Mr. Ruoff. I know in an asynchronous online class that it's important to replicate some of the best things about a face-to-face classroom. So here's my face, and I want to spend some time talking to you about the course, about the syllabus, about the progression of assignments, so that you have a better understanding of how you can be successful this semester. So I'm actually in my 22nd year of teaching. I teach high school English. I've taught AP Language, AP Literature, College Credit Plus on the campus of the high school that I currently teach at, and I've also for 22 years been teaching at Cincinnati State. So online composition 101 and 102, I've taught, and I've been teaching it online since 2007 when Cincinnati State first moved to an online asynchronous component. So I've been doing it for a long time. If you have any questions or concerns, send me an email, which is like raising your hand in a face-to-face classroom, and I will respond to you. The course is set up with a literacy narrative, with a rhetorical analysis, and with a research essay. So if you look at that progression, you're writing about something to do with yourself, so you are your own research component. It also grounds you in, we're gonna write, but let's focus on you. So let's kind of ease into it. The rhetorical analysis is, hey, can I take a published piece of writing, a professional piece of writing, and break it down for rhetorical technique and look for things like audience, which would be who is the writer writing for? What was the purpose? The writer, when they sat down to write this, are they trying to inform, to entertain, or persuade? Let's take persuade for an example. If I'm trying to persuade, who are the people I'm trying to persuade, and what do I hope to achieve from it? Is it to get them to think a certain way, to do a certain way, to do a certain thing, to vote a certain way? And then how credible are they? Does their credibility come from their education, their job experience, their life experience? Or do they include information from more knowledgeable others, which would be like quoting, citing, referencing people who are more knowledgeable to build their own credibility? And then logical and emotional appeals. What kind of facts and statistics do they use to back up their argument? Or what kind of loaded language and hypothetical or personal examples do they include to pull on my heartstrings, to anger me, to influence me to do things to think a certain way or do things, vote a certain way. And then so once we break down that professional piece of writing, can I now be more conscious as a writer as I'm writing this research essay about what my purpose is, who my audience is, what my credibility is, which more likely, you're gonna learn your credibility is gonna come from, since you're a student, on the backs of more knowledgeable others. What kind of credible research can I get, can I find, can I integrate effectively into my writing to build my credibility, to make me believable, to make me trustworthy as a writer on this topic? What logical appeals and what emotional appeals can I use to effectively write a paper with great depth and complexity? So that's how that progression works. Now, outside of that, let's talk about the syllabus. The point totals are clearly given. My email address is provided. The late work policy, you want to definitely abide by. No late work is accepted outside of 1 week of the original due date, and there's a scale of deductions depending on how many days late you turn something in. So don't turn things in late. Maybe put them in your phone, in your calendar with alerts so that you don't fall behind. And then the AI policy. The AI policy exists because, like I said, I've been teaching online asynchronously since 2007. Some things have changed since then. The beginning, it was plagiarism, so people finding things online and copying and pasting them, using them as their own without citations or documentation. Now we've hit the era of AI. And AI makes it very easy to put a prompt in, could be a prompt from this class, and get ready-made answers, and you just plug and play, just copy, paste, done. But that does not achieve the goals of this class. So moving towards the policy I have now, it was something that developed because of the gray area that is there, and so I'll explain. So Grammarly is AI, and it is, if you go look at it and look it up, it is an AI, and it'll change the structure of your sentences, which is syntax. It'll clean it up, but that's not your writing. That is an algorithm doing it for you. And some people say, well, I plan with ChatGPT, and then, well, I copied and pasted some of it, and then I was going to delete it, but then I forgot, and that's why I got flagged. So in order to get beyond all that gray area, there's just no AI to be used in this class, from the planning to the writing to the revising to the editing. So the entire process should be you. And I'll give you an analogy. I like to run and I like to lift weights, not because I want to look like Superman or anything, which obviously I don't, but to be healthy. And if I would take a forklift to the gym and use it to raise and lower the bench bar, then obviously the outcome that I want, which would be to be healthier, would not be achieved. Would it be easier? Yes. Would it be faster? Probably. But it wouldn't achieve the outcome. So you're not going to improve as a writer unless you take part in the full writing process. That's why your first essay that you're going to write is a literacy narrative, which is technically a narrative essay, which means you have an introduction, conclusion, giving some contextual background about what you're going to tell the story of in your life, and then what you learned from it. And the conclusion is going to do the same thing. And in between, you're going to be telling a story. That's why it's focused on you. So you should be, obviously, maybe more willing and able to enter the writing process when you are the focus. So I'm mining my own experiences, looking for something worthwhile to write about that was important to me and communicate to my audience. That would be my purpose, to communicate to my audience why this was important to me, what I learned from it. And then when we move beyond that, the rhetorical analysis, like I said, is you engaging in the process of breaking down, kind of like taking an engine apart to put it back together to see how it runs, a published professional piece of writing to see how it works, so that when you write your own argumentative research essay, you will see these are the components that I need to put together to make something that's sophisticated and has good depth and complexity. Now, at no point in that process are we asking or requiring you to shift the responsibility to AI. So you are the one who should be taking part in the grind of learning, writing, revising, editing, and taking my feedback and maybe emailing me or jumping on a Google Meet with me during my office hours, so that you can learn to write better, which the college wants you to do, so that when you move into your other classes, they are confident that you've learned the skills, and your professors that you have are confident that you have the skills to write at a college level. So that's the reason for it. So from the writing to from the planning to the writing to the revising or the editing, it needs to be your own work. And if your work gets flagged for AI usage, there will be penalties for it. With that all being said, I just want to welcome you to the class, and I hope that it is a successful and productive semester for you. Thank you.